Mabaka, tinalaga ka ng Diyos upang mahamuno, kaya't bumaba ka. Iparamdam ang sarili sa masa. Paano mo pamumunuan ng malayo sa iyong kamalayan? Kilalanin ang bayan. Bumaba ka.
Bumaba ako, masalimuot ang ideya mo ng pamumuno. Bumaba ako, kung isasangguni ko lahat, walang matatapos.
Bumaba ka, itinalaga ka ng Diyos
Ako na itinalaga ng Roma, bakayata. Nalilimutan kung sinong mananakop at nasasakupan.
Paano mo pamumunuan ng malayo sa iyong kamalayan? Kilalanin ng bayan. Bumaba ka.
With the Holy Week fast approaching, the traditional Senakulo walks us through the events leading to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. But this time, a musical puts the spotlight on the man who ordered his execution, Pontius Pilate. We are joined by the cast of Pilato, Jerome Ferguson, Onyl Torres, Christy Lagapa, and of course, writer-director Eldrin Veloso. It's a beautiful day, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. And thank you so much for that rendition, first and foremost.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic way to start and gets us all interested. Syempre, we're having this conversation kasi, well, Holy Week is coming.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
of course, this is such an interesting time to talk about it. We'll start off first with you, Direk, because you wrote it, you directed it, and we just heard a great excerpt for it. Unang-una, what inspired you to actually dive into the story?
Well, I believe that you can really see a fresher appreciation of a person from different perspectives. So as
Right.
you said, Holy Week is coming. Every Holy Week, we already celebrate the Passion story,
Yes,
the trial
yes.
and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So Pilato, as a play, still talks about that. It's still the story of the trial and crucifixion of Jesus Christ, but we're looking at it from the perspective of Pontius Pilate. And when we started looking at that POV, we saw the socio-political context, the economical context during that time. And we saw a fresher appreciation of what transpired during those times. And I think in respect to relating it to today's time, lalo na we're nearing Holy Week and elections, we're rooting the messaging coming from John 18:38. Pilato asked Jesus, what is the truth? And in this time, misinformation and fake news, that's a question that keeps on popping up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where it came from, the idea.
Pontius Pilate is, often portrayed either as a villain or that reluctant decision maker. No, ang dami niyang moral dilemmas. The story revolves about his moral dilemmas. How does this play challenge or deepen that perception?
Well, the story-wise, for us to be able to appreciate it from the perspective of Pontius Pilate, we delve into the early days of Pontius Pilate as a military man and how the succession of events led him to become the governor of Judea and eventually to the hand-washing and the crucifixion.
Yes.
So for us to be able to understand also where he is coming from. We're not saying that he's the hero or the anti-hero of the story, but we all believe that for us to be able to really know what happened during that time and make our own decisions, we really need to see all the perspectives.
You know, when you take a look at yung role ni Pilato, so we're going to focus on the characters itself. Jerome, let's take a look at the character of Pilate first. Kasi I mentioned nga, some people look at the villain. Some Christian denominations consider Pontius Pilate as someone just doing the job. And how did you approach yung character ni Pilate?
Well, as an actor, palagi naman namin ginagawa na
dapat lahat ng mga consequences and objectives niya is dapat
Oo.
sa tingin namin is tama. So feeling ko nasa audience na lang 'yon.
Okay.
Para kung ano yung makikita nila, sila yung audience ang magde-decide
Yeah.
whether villain nga ba si Pilato or protagonist.
Ano yung na-decide mo?
It's up to the audience.
Putting
Para
mo
sa
on the
akin
spot,
lang.
grabe.
Yeah.
I understand.
We
And,
have to watch it and see.
Yeah.
And make that decision
Yeah.
ourselves, right?
Yeah, and there's one character here that you were actually asking about.
Yes, Christy. Hello. You know what? I am so interested in your character. First, because I really did not know about Pontius Pilate's wife.
Yeah.
She's a much lesser known figure, biblical figure, but she plays a very important role in this story, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your character here in the play?
Okay, so basically in the story, yung highlight ni Procla is she kind of influenced Pilato to not crucify Jesus Christ.
Yes, that's right.
And our director mentioned na this story encompasses multiple perspectives of the Jews, of Pilate, of Josepo, which we will know about later. But Procla in the story represents, in essence, a woman.
Yes.
What it's like to be a woman, pagiging babae during that time, and still today. So she's strong-willed, she's ambitious, she has this title, mayaman siya.
Okay.
But she cannot do anything about it. Kasi babae siya
Yeah.
Right.
in
right.
that era. So this brings to light the questions and the issues of being a woman, which was present 1,000 years ago and still present today, which has to be addressed. So,
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, si Procla only has one verse in the Bible. I think that's in
Yeah.
the book of Luke. And when you look at the fact that you only have one verse in the Bible to build an entire character from, kamusta naman yung process mo, your creative process mo in creating that character, considering that a lot of it has to be trying to put yourself in her shoes, and there's only one verse.
So, parang I've built the framework na on being a woman, and I've looked into myself, reflected upon myself kung ano yung what I can bring into the character from
Right.
all my experiences on being a woman, and I guess just the word being ambitious, which was like, naihantulad na kay Procla, just gave me parang so much more avenues on how I can grow her pa. Because I
Yeah.
can see myself
Yes.
in her with just that word. So I guess more on just embodying what I am to the character.
Direct pasado ba yung sagot niya?
Yes,
Okay.
pasadong pasado.
Okay.
If I may also add, no, as you mentioned, we only base it on one verse. Basically, we know Procla, or actually, hindi pa siya named sa Bible.
Yeah, she's not named,
Yeah.
She's the one who had a nightmare and advised Pilato
Yes.
not to judge Jesus. But what we wanted is to really expand, because if you were a woman at that time, how were you able to have that courage to give political affairs parang guidance or message to your husband at that time ba parang hindi yun
Yes.
accepted or not.
That's
So
unheard of,
there
yeah.
there could be a relationship there that's stronger than just platonic man and woman arranged marriage. di
Yeah.
ba? So we explored that love story, makikita niyo yun dito. And I think that's one of the things that they should look out for this play, because there are a lot of things like yun na maso-surprise ka, may ganun pala sa
Yes,
storya nito ni Pontius Pilate.
Another character in this play, Pilato, that I'm interested in is si Josepo. Yes, Onyl, tell us about this unique character of yours.
Okay, unique because in a sense that Josepo is a fictitious character.
Yes, yes.
And he is a composite of all the historiographers that ever existed after Pilato's time. So lahat ng mga views niya, lahat ng mga ano niya ay pinagsama-sama ng mga lahat ng mga naisulat about Pilato.
Okay.
And that in itself completes the story, completes the character of Pilato and what the play wants to say about Pilato, and that's why he's unique.
Yeah. You know, just looking at it, medyo parang Falstaff yung approach niya, considering it's a bit of a fictional character in a historical perspective. Pero direct, when you were creating the character of Josepo, just so how difficult was it siguro to look at all of these contexts? If he's looking at him like as Pilato, you're putting everything all in one person. Gaano kahirap yun?
Yes, very difficult. So what we really wanted is to showcase different perspectives. So when I was writing it, we have the perspective of Pilato, but we needed a counterpoint or at least a kontrapunta doon sa point of view ni Pilato. So we had to introduce someone like Josepo as a composite character of all the historians. Kasi if you would notice, in the Bible, we have this, as you said, the reluctant decision maker, Pilato. But if you would read the historical accounts about Pilato, he was really like a verdugo madman, like had people massacred. So why would he be reluctant in killing just one man when he had slain hundreds of Samaritans, even before the time and after the time of Christ? So we had to introduce that. Para there's these two perspectives that you could look into and then maybe a judge for yourself. Ano ba ang katotohanan, basically?
So we really have to see, no? And then decide for ourselves.
Sorry, yun talaga.
Pilato, are you a villain? Or that is a question that we will answer after we see the play. But what was the most challenging part for you as you were preparing for Pilato?
Challenging yung mag-originate. Kasi hindi pa nagagawa yung, wala pang musical na or play about Pilato in the Philippines or anywhere in the world, entire world yata.
Na siya yung bida.
Na siya yung bida, yes, from his perspective.
Opo.
Yeah.
Tapos, learning new songs na walang pinanggayahan kasi hindi siya jukebox.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, I want to touch on that kasi when it's original music and it's an original production, yung license to create is typically a lot more compared to those, like for example, nakaset na yung script, nakaset na yung music, or the music is adapted from somewhere. How was it working with Direk? Let's put the spotlight on him naman. How was it working with Direk in terms of yung creative process and allowing you to be the artist that you want to be in creating this role na potentially iconic?
I mean, Derek is very helpful in terms to building my character, sa process. Marami siyang inputs kasi siya mismo yung may alam ng script.
Yeah.
And then at saka hindi lang si Derek, pati yung musical director namin, at saka yung composer.
Yeah.
Yun.
I can only imagine like you change. Did you change anything that they've done?
Meron ba?
Kasi ikaw si Pilato eh. Like, ito yung star natin.
Naging Pilato in real life. Tapos maghuhugas ka kami na lang after the show.
All right, but Onyl, how about you? Just again, napaka-critical ng role mo as a critic almost. So when you go about criticizing si Pilato, again with different viewpoints all in mind, how was that like? Siguro finding yung reason sa mga ginagawa mo.
Okay. As a character, Josepo kasi is he's very in touch of his Jewish background. No?
Yeah.
But he works for the Roman Empire. So in a way, he symbolizes the present social media, the journalists that we have, and somehow there are biases in the way we report. And sad to say, right? But there is an idealistic part in him that he really wants to just write down what really is the truth, despite his biases. And that, for me, is something that we can all learn from. in finding our truth, believing in the truth that is around us, and believing in some truth that without any biases. Kahit masakit man to tanggapin.
You're right, right,
This
right.
is the truth.
So Pilato, it revolves around the story, as we mentioned kanina, moral struggles, moral issues of Pontius Pilate, and of course, ang laki ng role that Procla plays in this play as well. What can the audience learn after seeing Pilato from the story of Pilato and of Procla as well?
Okay. So, as we mentioned, the story is all about perspectives and the search for truth. Yun doon talaga siya umiikot. So, what we really hope is after the audience watched and leave the theater, they would be inspired, provoked, and even take action in inspecting their own guidelines of their search for the truth. Kasi pwede kasing may dalawang tao na sabihin nila pareho silang nasa katotohanan, but they would argue. They would fight to death metaphorically on social media.
Right, yes, yes.
So what is your enshrining guidelines? What is your dogma in your search towards the truth, diba? So as long as we have the people asking ano ba ang katotohanan after they leave the theater, I think the play has done its job.
Christy, when you look at yung approach na yan, Direk actually mentioned fake news a while ago, the search for truth and knowledge, and na-mention mo nga yung basically representing or pushing what women could do at that time. You personally, when you take a look at yung search for truth, paano mo yun na-discover in working in this production so far? And of course, how do you want to show that to yung audience natin?
The truth.
Hirap, no?
Actually,
To tell you the
It's
truth,
so
nahirapan siya.
idealistic.
I don't, as someone na isn't really that in tune with all the things that's happening in the world right now. When I started to be on this play, I was like, oh, there are multiple truths na despite sa mga alam ko. And so, one of it is that, again, the discrimination with women still exists. Na it's more than what is inside my circle.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's also one of the things na is important with my character as Procla. Na today, there's still, why do we still go to this issue na this was happening thousands of years ago, tapos it's still relevant today. So, ayun, it's today women's voices are still fighting para marinig yung voices nila, whether it be on politics, on business, even on arts. So, yeah, I guess that's one of the truths na kailangan ipakita to people and for them to question what if we heard these voices kahit na wala sila on traditional places of power. Ganon.
Direk, we're running out of time, so
Yes.
I'm gonna
Gonna
ask you
sing?
to...
Ano?
Wait lang. Pulong sa tiya. But Direk, since we're running out of time and we want to just leave siguro what impact you want to leave, a lot of it's a commentary actually on fake news that has been an issue. As of late, misinformation also. What do you want the audiences to leave with after seeing Pilato for the first time? Apart from, of course, trying to get a deeper understanding of everything going on in Holy Week. Just what do you want to leave the audience with?
Well, since Holy Week is coming up and the elections are coming up, what we really wanted the people to take away from this play is to, as I mentioned, have the introspection towards their journey towards the search for truth. But more importantly, because this play is all about perspectives, be open in terms of understanding and hearing the perspectives of different sides. Because I think that is what we really need in the current time that we have, the ability to be able to hear the other side and not just to hide behind your shell or your comfort zone of what you think is your echo chamber of truth. Doon
I-
lang
I
eh.
love that.
If i-extend lang natin yung compassion na yon and understanding. And I think the world would be a better place dramatically, even overnight.
We are so looking forward to seeing this play, Direk. Why don't you invite our viewers to watch it?
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us, for having us here. And everyone's watching, gandang umaga po. You can watch Pilato on April 4, 5, 6, and 11, 12, 13 sa PETA Theater Center. Tickets are available at pilato.helixpay.ph, and you can check us out on our social media pages for more information.
Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much,
Thank you
Ann.
for
Thank you,
joining us
Paolo.
today. Jerome Ferguson, Christy Lagapa, Onyl Torres, and writer-director Eldrin Veloso of the musical Pilato. Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you so much. Maraming salamat.